Well, I can hear not you. Can you hear me?
Now everybody should be able to hear me.
I hear you.
Yay! I hit the
Yay!
button on the thing and now it's good.
Yeah, I don't like that there's a mute button like on the mic. Like I understand why it's there. It's just like I'm definitely the guy that's gonna hit it way more than I should.
Well, it's also the thing that you grab. Like when you go grab it,
Right.
get
You
up.
just wrap your hand around
Yeah,
it.
yeah, just push that sucker down. Uh, it is awesome to see everybody. Everybody's yelling at me for no sound because there was no sound, but I have sound now. Everybody, welcome to the Gospel of Two Wheels, where the coffee's hot, the bikes are fast, and your comments are absolutely ridiculous. Would love to welcome my dear friend Brian Pierce, aka Woodrow, aka
Hello.
Woodrinio, aka the man.
Woodrinio. I like it. Now I'm Italianish.
Yeah, ish. Hopefully, our Marco Pezzica will join us, who's an Italian guy living here. Did you know? You probably didn't know, but there's a huge Italian company that owns a big chunk of Marble, Colorado. That they pull all the marble out of this. I guess it's super high quality, pure white marble comes out, and there's a massive place that. Oh, you stupid! Hang on, my camera does this thing. Um, this massive place where they store it and ship it is in Delta, Colorado. Anyway, Marco, yeah, it's dude. Marco, he's Italian, like from Italy, moved him here to run the thing, and it's awesome because his last name is Pezzica.
I love it.
Yeah, it's good. How are you today, Woody?
I'm good, man. Today was a rest day, so I did not have to wake up and go run or work out or do any of those things in the training schedule. So it's nice. I woke up, had some coffee, and wrote for a little bit, and that's been nice.
Nice. Yeah, I was. I've been taking it easy this week because we're racing Saturday, Sunday, and then I'm hunting the next week. So I've got a lot of exercise lined up.
Yeah, it's
So
good to taper into those kind of crazinesses for sure.
yeah, so we're taking it easy. Also been healing up a back thing that I did somehow. But anyway, the foundation training is amazing how well that helps
Yeah, man.
back issues quickly. So it's
Yeah,
really good.
that stability that you create just by having some of those functional movements really does, you know, I just stabilizes the body. It's kind
Yeah.
of nuts.
Yeah, and it helps teach your body to do the right thing, stand well, sit well, like all that stuff. It's
Stop it with your posture talk. Come on, we should all be walking around like this. Like
I
that's
know, just like Harley Cox wants to know where I got my sunglasses. Those are MSR Ridge glasses. You can buy those at Rocky Mountain ATV. Use the link in the description, and it'll help me out. But yeah, they're actually awesome. They come with 3 lenses. They come with a polarized lens. I think they're like $30 or $40. They're pretty cheap. So anyway, there's my mom. Say hi to my mom, Woody, or she'll punch you in the face.
Suzanne Sprouting.
Oh,
Bradling. Bradling.
Spradling. Yes.
Yeah, it still looks like Spalding to me. I'm just gonna
I
go with it.
just whatever. We'll answer to anything. Hey, Woodrow. Speaking of my mom and Oklahoma, we weren't really talking about Oklahoma.
Okay, I don't know where this is headed, but I guess we're going there.
I am going to be in Oklahoma for Thanksgiving, and we're bringing
Ooh.
motorcycles.
Oh snap.
Would you be interested in joining us? We'll be in Oklahoma City. It's about 3 or 4 hours away, ish.
Oh, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma City.
Yeah, Oklahoma
Like,
City, Oklahoma City.
yeah, my sister lives there on the outskirts of like Oklahoma City and Edmondson, something like
Edmund.
that.
It's Ed, not
Edmond.
Edmonton. It's Ed.
A
Oh,
little bit south of that.
I've messed it all up. Hang on. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh. There we go. Is that better? Oh, boy. Did I lose it? I don't know how to.
It's probably because I'm talking directly into my mic and yours is just a little bit off. Like, and so
Is that better? There we go. Okay. Anyway, well, I don't know how to operate technology. So, Woody, what have you been up to? I see you've been racing. How's it been?
Dude, it's been freaking awesome. Doing this whole blackjack thing has been amazing because it's so much more technical than a lot of the racing that we get here in Texas. And then at the other side of that with TSEC, and nothing against it. I've just done those for a long time, like from like the early 2000s and everything. And so when I wanted to do a series again, I was like, I'm going to do blackjack because I always enjoyed those. And Arkansas, Missouri, even the northern Oklahoma ones that I've just never had a chance to go to before have been amazing. And they've been really fun, challenged me a lot. And I come away with either wins or a little like wins or things to work on, which is still a win. So yeah, man, it's been a ton of fun.
Dude, that's awesome. And your last race, I have not watched the video yet about the showing differences in speed. Let's talk a little bit about that. Um,
Yeah.
like, yeah. So what's going on there? Where were you picking up?
So
Where were you losing speed?
what was yeah, so just the context, I put out a video of because with a sprint enduro, right, you're going to run the same section multiple times, and I was just running my camera not really thinking it's like, oh, well, I already filmed this. And so when I came home, I was like, wait a minute, like I can see the little moments that I'm starting to pick up time. And so I tried to like put them next to each other, and I was like, oh, it works, right? Because 16:9, that wide range ratio, it gives us just enough context to kind of like see what's going on. And it's crazy in some of the I felt that test section was good because of the one that I put up so far, because of the fact that like I gained 8 seconds on myself. So the first time I ran it versus the second time, I was 8 seconds faster. And it's really one of those things where I just attacked a little bit more and I just braked a little bit harder, but then let go and carried speed into the turn. And you can really see that like every mile, I just kind of pick up 1 second, right? And I think that that's really interesting. One of the other tests I did really horrible, like comparatively time wise. Like, again, 8 seconds, that's not too bad, right? But
Yeah,
one of them I think was like 30, 40 seconds difference. And that's where I'm another one. And it's tough because I've never really tried to do a comparison like this. So I didn't know if I should go through all the tests and just cut it down to only the times that you can tell like that I lost time, or if it's worthy of doing what I did, which was put it just the full 19 minutes and I talk about what I see like every mile. And I showcase how like every mile I've picked up a little bit of time on myself and try to like disseminate what I thought it was in the moment. Um, I can tell by the watch time that letting it ride for as long as I did probably wasn't the way to go. I probably should have like found the moments, cropped them out, and just had the little learning moments throughout all the different tests. But I've never tried that concept before, and so I think it's really interesting. And the people that have watched it enough that have had comments in the comments uh, have had good feedback and then said they found value in it. So, but I think it's really, I mean, one of the other things that I saw in another section is I immediately came off within 5 seconds into the test section and I was already 2 seconds slower. And it's all because I did not attack as hard as I did the previous time, right? And this is in the center section, which I haven't put up yet. And then I start watching that video and I think back and I remember in that the very beginning, I felt a small cramp coming on in my left hand. And so I was thinking about that. I'm trying to disseminate what it was, right?
right.
I think that it was like me overthinking that cramp and like probably trying to like not ride super hard so that that cramp didn't come into something bigger. It didn't. And so I started attacking more. But by that point, I'm already like 5, 6 seconds slower. It was pretty crazy. And I was like, gosh, darn it. Like it really is those little eighth and quarter seconds, of a second that just add up over time. And that's the crazy weird thing about enduro. So when you see people that are still 5 to 10 seconds apart in a test section, like that truly is like two turns
Yeah.
sometimes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, it's cool. I did when I first got the Moto Shake Weight, the counter shocks. Uh,
Yeah.
I I did a video like that out at Peach Valley Sunset Rocks Trail. It's about a 5 to 6 minute trail, if you hammer. And I ran it out and back without the counter shocks, and I ran it out and back with the counter shocks, and then I edited that down to it was the same thing, just a full run, 5-minute run through, and had them side by side, and it was super cool because I was 5 seconds faster with the counter shocks consistently, like every run through, it was like 5 seconds faster, and so it was super cool to run them like that. Like you said, like I was using the trail marker as my start time, like because I didn't have not like an enduro where there's a guy going beep go, like
Right.
So I'd use that as the start time for the two videos, and it was super cool to watch them side by side, see the bike handle different, me make different decisions. I mean, there's a lot going in. It's not just the counter shocks, but that a lot goes into a 5 second over 5 miles, which, like I said, that's the difference between second and third or first and second. Whatever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Yeah, and it's like Bjork off-road, like I agree. Like now that I've watched, like when I was watching the video, I think one of the other things that I could have done that could have been really helpful is in the intro told people what to expect, right? Because I did say like, I've never done this before, blah, blah, blah. But if I would have told them like, okay, every mile we're going to put the times up. We can talk about the difference. And then we're going to talk about the moments that happened. At least then too, that first 2 to 3 minutes of the test sections would have understood like, okay, like we're riding right now. And the explanation for this mile is going to come. I think that's another like learning moment for me in trying to figure out the different thing that I've never tried before. But yeah, like, I think like it would have taken me a long time, but probably would have been better if I'd have watched all the test sections side by side, truly found those moments, kind of disseminated what the overarching themes were, and then kind of like picked out the big wins. And it's like, this is the moments where we lose time.
Right.
But here we are.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure Bjork Off-Road understands. I know you understand how much more effort that will take to edit, right? Like,
yeah.
That's a massive jump up in edit time.
So
go through all that and pick each one and pull them out and try to time it. Because that's the other thing, right? Like for it to look right and look cool, you need to time it so you're going through the section at the exact same time, so you can watch them side by side. And it's hard to get that all lined up and whatever.
Yeah, because what I did for this is like I lined up the transponder box like at the same spot on the corner when I started, and then at the end, right? And then each time and then at each mile marker, whichever one I went through first, which was always on the right side because that was my faster time through, the second time through, right. Is like that time would pop up, and then on the left side when you saw the mile marker pass, then that time would pop up, and then we talk about the difference in where we think it happened. But yeah, I think contextually, it's probably better to have that conversation. Like, oh, you can see how I look at the way that I rode the sand different. Like, it's good to have that acknowledgement, but it's better to have that acknowledgement when you're in the sand and people can see it happening, right? And again, now that we're on the other side of this, I can kind of see it's like I'm doing this, one, to learn for myself, but hopefully to help others. That is just more helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, guys, if you're watching this, make sure you hit the little thumbs up button. Also, make sure you go check out Seat Time, youtube.com/Seat Time. You can watch
.co if you go to the website.
Or
seattime.co.
You can go watch this video. Also, give Woody the rock and roll sign and the thumbs up and things like that. It makes him happy, makes him feel good on his insides. And also, guys, as per normal on the Gospel Two Wheels, feel free to ask questions. Shoot them up here. Ask me a question. Ask Woody a question. And Moto Master, I love when I get tired and slow down. Then you get to feel the bottom of every bump and hole. Solution is always go fast. 100%. That's the best feeling in the world when you slow down and everything starts to suck. I'm 100% behind that. So I raced an enduro. I haven't raced an enduro in a very, very long time. I raced the Chimney Rock Enduro. Have you ever raced that, by the way?
No, never raced that one.
Put it on the list. I think it's back. I think they're going to bring it back. I think the Blue Ribbon Coalition is very, very optimistic that they're not going to close that area down.
Cool.
Long story. Support the Blue Ribbon Coalition. That's the short version is support the Blue Ribbon Coalition. They are hiring a staff lawyer, like an attorney, to just launched lawsuits against everybody that's trying to screw us, and it's rad. They're gearing up to be able to fire off like 4 or 5 lawsuits a year to try to keep things open. So please, please, please support the Blue Ribbon Coalition. It's worth the money. They're spending it in the right way. All that. I have no affiliation with them. I actually am getting ready to this week go on and do a pledge, a monthly deal, because I haven't done it. And I now talking to them and meeting them and seeing really what they're doing, they're absolutely worth your money.
Yeah, I think what's interesting that you're talking, like, think about if every time you rode, you were in Texas, you would have to pay a gate fee.
Right.
Every time you rode.
Right.
Everywhere. Right. Now add that up, and it's like, at least consider donating half of that every year to a company or to an organization that's trying to keep public trails open, because
Absolutely.
I don't have public trails in Texas. I have to pay every place I go. You know what I mean? So It's like, and I'm not saying that we should have a 1-to-1 by any means, but it's awesome that you guys don't have to deal with that. But that doesn't mean that these organizations that are helping keep those trails open don't need funding to do that, you know?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And please just buy your OHV sticker. Like,
yeah, right there. Yeah.
Don't be a wiener. Buy your OHV sticker. If you come from out of state, we sell them. If you're in state, we sell them. Just buy your OHV sticker. You can argue back and forth, like, I don't want to give my money to the government. Anyway, the reality is buying that OHV sticker, displaying it on your bike, being legal is huge to helping our sport. And it's something like, and that's like, I'm growing and learning. Like, I used to be like, I'm not going to pay for that. No, you got to pay for it. It's cheap. It's $25 a year. Like Woody said, I can ride from my house to 80,000 acres of open ground that doesn't cost me any more than $25 a year. So that's a pretty sweet deal.
And there's places in Texas I have to pay $30 to ride once.
Yeah, one day. Yeah, exactly. And like, we're coming to Oklahoma and we're going to ride, and I'm going to have to pay like $75 or $100 for the 3 of us to go ride for a day. And it's going to be ridiculous.
I think the other side of that too is the census part of that, right? Because at some point somebody's going to say, well, they only sold X amount of those OHV stickers, so obviously there's not that many riders. We should close the land to that and let these people use it more, right? Yep. Like, and again, I'm not picking a sport because I don't want to pick on a sport. I think we should all have access to public land. But it's like, even if you don't, by not getting that sticker, you're not putting that tick in the box. Just like voting, you have the ability to vote. Go vote. I don't give a shit who you vote for, but put your voice out there. And that's the same thing as buying buying that OHV sticker in the states that you ride in.
Yep, 100%. Real quick, Kenneth.
Now we can get off the soapbox.
Yeah, I like it though. Kenneth, I figured out what the Motos pipe goes for. Shane got a hold of me. It fits a 150 KTM. So if anyone needs, we're going to give that sucker away because it was free to me, and I will ship it to whoever has a 150 KTM. I guess it didn't fit this guy's bike that good with the mounts, but he has since said that he thinks he did it wrong. Like, maybe there was a better way to mount it, and he's like, whatever, I went with a different pipe anyway. So if anybody's got a 150, reach out to me. I don't know, I might make a official giveaway thing, but reach out to me and we'll get you in the name in the hopper, because it's look at it, it's beautiful. It's like sexy, gorgeous.
Bring it up higher, we can't see it.
Okay, well, here we go. Boom! Look at that.
Oh my God! Yeah, look at that.
Welded stainless steel from Turkey, where they just had the sea to sky. Let's talk a little bit about that, because
that looked insane.
Rad was it that Graham Jarvis from nowhere comes by and gets second? Like, that was nuts, dude.
That guy has still got it, man. Have you ever ridden with him or done one of his clinics?
No, I'd like to. He's going to be here in November, which
I know it gets tough for guys like us that air quotes feel like we've ridden for so long, but it's like we can always like work on our skills. And so like the first hour or two is a little basic, but in the long run, like, it's just so amazing to be there and watch like 10 feet away the Graham Jarvis.
Yeah.
So it's pretty insane.
Hey, there's Marco Pizzica. Pizzica! Hey! There's our Italian man. The Italian.
So much enthusiasm.
And quick, SG 1971. What do you think of the IRC 140s coming out in November? That's gonna be cool. I mean, it's just a hard enduro size, right? You know, they're putting out the biggest, fattest, widest tire. I'm sure it's gonna be a 140 like 80, so it'll be real like
Yeah.
fat.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like when you do the math, it still works out the same. It's just wider and not as tall.
Right,
And so, like, and the only reason IRC is coming out with it is because the market has demanded it. That's
right.
the thing that's weird is like, is it better to have a 140 versus a 120 when it's a gummy tire and it's gonna like go wide anyway and it's always gonna grip and you've got crazy durometer rubber, like all of these things. Like I'm not like we all know I'm a lubologist from that last video, but I'm also not a durologist. So like it's cool that they're coming out with it, but it's really just because of the demand of the market, not that they think it's actually going to be a better tire. Because if they thought it would be a better tire, they would have done it years ago. And it was the same with Kinda. Kinda fought that too with the Canarly, and they were finally like, okay, like we'll come out with this thing. Like,
Yeah, yeah, and I guess I can see the one idea I have about having that lower profile tire, so it's wide but it's short, is that if you get the right foam insert or whatever the hell you're putting in there, you'll get crazy grip, but then you also won't get a bunch of roll on the tire
right.
turns, right? Because like the 120 or the 140 100s, the big balloons, um,
They're very wide and tall. Yeah.
tall, and then they, if you're when the in the fast sections, right? Because those guys like Sea to Sky, for instance, is a perfect example of where they start. You know, the last day they start on the beach hauling ass and like raging through the forest really, really fast, and then into the nastiness. I could see having that low profile, less rolly tire might be really handy for that, you know, that kind of thing. Like I personally, I'm still a 110, 100, or I mean, the Tusk Talons, I run the 120 90 because it's the biggest one they make. But yeah, it's awesome. Oh, here, Marco Petsica. I just cannot help but say a name like that. He says, I tell you, Morgan, Astra Gemini plus Mako 360 on the beta is a must. Agree. Huge,
Yeah.
massive shout out to those Astra bars. In fact, such a big shout out, I bought more of them to have in the shop. Um,
Is this the first time you've tried them?
yeah, and I
Wow.
freaking love them.
Really?
Dude, I
Yeah. I
love
got I got him back in 2018 when Chris Birch was
them. Yeah,
touting them. And I was like, well, that sounds cool. So I reached out to him. He did give me a little bit of a deal back then, which was cool. But I've been running them since. I love them. Like I could not believe, but they're 22 millimeters tall, the Chris Birch ones, and he doesn't make a model that low anymore.
now,
So now
lowest
that he's not,
is 27.
whatever that is all about. So I think 27 is the lowest. Is that?
27 is the lowest now. It's the Jarvis version. You know, they kind of like, it's just Chris Birch has his signature series, and then now it's Jarvis and Alfredo Gomez. I'm running the Gomez's, which the Jarvis and Gomez's are the same sweep, just Jarvis's are lower. I'm running a 38 millimeter, which is way lower than anything I've ever run. So I think I've got two Jarvis's coming. So I think I'm going to swap out and try a 27.
And just think about that. What I'm running is half an inch lower than what you're running
Yeah,
because I'm still running the 22 millimeters.
I know. It's
Like,
awesome.
I do have the XC Gear Mako 360 on it, but I specifically asked Lance about getting lowered perches because of the fact that when you get the traditional one, it is a little bit taller, right? And because of that, Ryan Sipes had also been asking for that. He had just come out with the Ryan Sipes lowered perch mounting stuff. So it's like probably running like a 25 or a 26 mil tall bar
Yeah.
with that 22 in the Mako. So it's like, God, it's a good setup.
It's crazy. It's like I feel cannot describe how much more in control I feel of the bike. Like I just feel like I've got way better control of the bike. Like
Yeah.
I'm, you know, necessarily any faster, but like I just feel like I'm in control of the motorcycle, and it just feels good. And 52A James, agree. He ran the 20. He put the Astra 27s on his 300 and came out and rode with us last weekend, and both of us were just like kind of freaking out about how good. I mean, it's just like, holy crap! Why have we not been running?
Yeah. And the one thing too, like I'm going to say it right now, they are expensive. period, right? Whatever process he does, and there's nothing we can do about that. But you guys have seen what the Sherco has been through. I got that bike in late 2017 and I put those bars on in 2018. So all 6-7 years I've had that bike, those bars have been on it and they have never bent. And you guys have seen the positions that bike has been in. So just know that I do believe the quality of that bar is a lot higher than some of the other bars that are out there, because I've never not had a bar bend before in some of the precarious situations I've been in. So I would say that the quality is also is equal to that price, is what I mean. Like, so just know that it's a little bit higher, but I think the quality is crazy high. So
right. And Bjork says, "How are the Ash bars with vibration?" They're phenomenal when you run a Mako 360.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, I can't tell you because I've always had the 360.
Yeah. So I got that comment a lot when I first put some pictures up. And well, how do they flex? I don't know, man. I run a Mako 360, which solves all my problems anyway. So
yeah.
I don't know how they flex.
I think that's the other thing too, and I'll say it right now, and I said it in the video when I talked about handlebar vibration, is the Mako 360 is expensive, right? But it's an extremely high quality product, and it can go to your next bike. If that, you know what I mean? Like a handlebar may be able to do that. Most likely, if you're getting a new bike, probably a good idea to just get a new bar anyway. But that Mako 360 can continue to make it through 10, 12 years of bikes. So know that it might feel very expensive in the moment, but if you kind of like break it up like that, you can see like the value lasts for a long time.
Right. And Lance and Lisa are two of the best humans on earth. So if you're going to give money to someone, XC gear people are the people to give money to. Like they are, I don't know. They're so cool. They support the ISDE team every year. They go wherever they are.
They literally not only give them money, but they go and they like are in the trenches with everybody, and they don't have to do that. They want to do that. And that, you're right. That is amazing.
Yeah, huge. Like to support the sport like that and what they do for racers, and listen to people. Like I've got the Jarvis dualies, which are real low, the lowest dually setup for the perches, and it's awesome. So Bjork is very sensitive. I've got a Mako 360, but I can still tell the difference between bars, Pro Taper Evo. Right on. So then I don't know. I'm not that sensitive. I can't help you. Like
the hard part with that is it's now we're kind of talking about, okay, well, what elastomer shark bite do you have? What elastomer stiffness do you have, right? That's wrapping around the bars, right? Are those bars the exact same sweep or the exact same height? Like the problem is, it's like just because it's bar to bar in there, there's so many other dynamics that can kind of come into play. It's like, okay, now how do we test this versus it being a mental thing? And I'm not saying that he's wrong. I'm just saying like that the N of one is tough, right? So how do you put that up against other riders to prove out the fact that like other people can or will feel this, and it's not just that one-off person that's sensitive?
Yeah, like because I can't tell. I can't, like, to me it all feels good and I'm happy. Like I am not that guy. I mean I have a customer that swears that he can tell the difference in half clicks on suspension. I'm a 2 to 3 click guy before I really notice something. So I don't know.
Well, I don't know how you get a half click. That's where I get confused.
Actually add a thing machined to do that. Yeah, I know. It's a thing. So
Hey.
he turned.
I'm trying to remember to put radiator fluid in the bike and change the oil. Okay, like you guys have seen the videos, you know what's up.
High speed nut a 16th of a turn at a time.
Whoa.
So yeah, I'm not.
And if I turn my nut a 16th of an inch, everybody's in trouble.
Yeah. I just like to ride the motorcycle. So I like I said, for me, the position of the bars is way more important than the flex. Like I said, I got to go, and that's all for me.
It makes me question all the things that my dad did, because my dad was 6'5", right? And he had all the tall seats, and not only did he have tall handlebars, but he put risers on there. And I was like, okay, so now you made again, not judging him because there are people that do that. So please, no one take this the wrong way. But it's like, okay, so now you just created a very comfortable couch. Like,
Right.
is that sitting on the motorcycle 90% of the time, 75% of the time, the way that the motorcycle performs best? Maybe not. Right. And I think that that's what this is showing us, because when you look at their diagrams, right, it's putting more weight over the front end of the motorcycle. And it's also bringing up the elbows just a little bit more, which again, kind of like forces us into that attack position. But that's when you're standing. Right. And that's the way that these bikes are really meant to be ridden. And so it kind of puts into question a lot of that, right? Like a lot of the stuff I saw my dad do back in the day, because he's like, but I'm really tall. And it's like, okay, but maybe there's other things that we could be doing that make the rider triangle and the attack position work better, not harder to get into, which is what a taller seat and, taller handlebars do.
Yeah, absolutely. Bike Vault, what's happening, man? Jeff, where are you these days? Are you in Thailand, Scotland? Where? It has been a long time, man. Good to see you here.
I'm just excited about Butthole Tightness showing up in the chat.
Yeah, that's always good. It's never. Speaking of that, nice segue. It is 8:00, and actually, I got a boogie. So, Woody, I want to say massive thank you. Everybody watching, huge thank you. If you're watching later, make sure you hit the thumbs up. If you're watching now, make sure you back out of the chat real quick, hit the thumbs up, and then come back in. Yeah, Woody, we need to schedule a time that we can get together.
I love the Oklahoma City idea. Yeah, shoot me the dates. I'll figure that out, because my sister and her husband might be coming down here, and maybe we change that and we go up there and we just bring bikes and goof off. So
yeah, that sounds good. I will let you know. It's going to be the week of Thanksgiving, but I will, I will definitely let you know. Guys, I love you, Punk Rock Club. I love you more than I love everybody else. God bless each and every one of you. And as always, I desperately hope that what we're doing here, Woody and I, is inspiring you guys to work on, but way more importantly, get out and ride your dirt bikes!